Hello, and welcome to our presentation on hypersonic spectral imaging detection sensor for long-range detection and tracking of hypersonic missiles. Surface Optics Corporation was founded in 1977 on optical properties measurements and signature analyses based on those measurements, as shown at the bottom and middle left. We are the recognized leader in measurement of optical properties from 200 nanometers to 200 microns. Our signature analysis capabilities include full first principles phenomenological modeling of scenes, targets, and sensors from ultraviolet to millimeter wave. In the early 1990s, we expanded our business to include coatings, both vacuum deposited and pigmented coatings. We have over 30 years history of coatings for spaceflight hardware, encompassing multiple applications and technologies. The bottom row shows the primary mirror of the Kepler Space Telescope after coating in one of our large vacuum chambers. Our pigmented paints are generally geared towards signature control. Our software tools define surface structure and coding and binder recipes for desired angular and spectral characteristics. Also, in the early 1990s, we further expanded to manufacturing reflectometers and spectral imaging systems. Our reflectometers, an example of which is shown in the bottom row, include both laboratory systems and handheld systems. Our spectral imaging expertise encompasses multiple modalities, including our latest light shift technology, which captures all three dimensions of the spectral image cube: spatial, spectral, simultaneously and at video rates or beyond. Output from our real-time 2 to 5 micron hyperspectral imager is shown at top left. In this figure, the system shows a car's hot exhaust CO2 red spike emission as a green plume. Our thrust is video rate generation and exploitation of spectral imagery to provide actionable information, not just data. Supporting our spectral imaging systems is over 30 years' experience in spectral image processor design, culminating in our current Midas Ultra processor, shown top middle, a nearly credit card-sized board capable of interfacing to almost any focal plane array and performing full calibration and data exploitation. Our other supporting capabilities include camera electronics design, optical design, and optomechanical design. We are experts in the characterization, control, and exploitation of surface optical properties, and hence our name. Hypersonic missiles are an emerging capability with expected growth and deployment, which threaten naval and other DoD component assets. To better protect naval assets from hypersonic threats, we are developing HySIDS, the Hypersonic Spectral Imaging Detection Sensor, based on our light shift full motion video spectral imaging technology operating in the shortwave infrared through long-wave infrared. Positioned at high altitude, this system provides extremely long-range detection and tracking of hypersonic boost glide missiles and hypersonic cruise missiles, providing many minutes to identify and interdict the threat. HySIDS can also operate from space-based platforms for another tier of protection. Early detection and tracking of hypersonic missile threats is key to defending against these threats. Since these missiles can travel beyond Mach 5, or over 1.1 miles per second, finding them early in their flight is the only way to provide adequate time to develop a track and then deploy countermeasures. Standard missile defense radars are not appropriate for this task, given that the plasma sheath that envelops a hypersonic missile shields it from radar. All DoD branches are at risk from this threat, as are high-value civilian targets. Hence, the military needs a system capable of reliably detecting and tracking hypersonic missiles. HySIDS meets this need. This system detects and tracks threats based on the inherent spectral signatures of their component materials, aeroheated to extreme temperatures. These signatures are unique and readily differentiated from spectral signatures of non-hypersonic airborne objects, and also from signatures and speed of meteors. Spectral signatures of the plume from either a booster lifting a hypersonic glide vehicle or a hypersonic cruise missile are also unique and readily detected. Exploiting these aeroheated material-based spectral signatures and plume signatures allows reliable detection of hypersonic threats even when they are deeply sub-resolved. HySIDS embodies our light shift spectral imaging technology using a dual-band focal plane array for operation in the shortwave through long-wave infrared, producing 32 spectral bands at every pixel in the image at rates of 120 full cubes per second. HiSIDS uses our Midas Ultra processor to exploit the spectral signatures at each pixel to detect threats, specifically hypersonic missiles. Midas Ultra can detect and track many threats simultaneously, including multiple different types. By exploiting spectral signatures, the system is both immune to clutter and able to positively identify a threat when it occupies much less than a pixel. Standard broadband IREO sensors cannot make this determination because they lack the spectral content necessary to both differentiate the threat from the background or to determine the extreme temperatures of the aeroheated surfaces. All they see is an increase in brightness at a pixel, which might not be detectable and certainly can't provide either surface temperature or materials. Another key feature of HiSIDS is that it is completely passive, with no electromagnetic emission, which enemy countermeasures can attack. We have proven our light shift technology for long-range subpixel detection of non-hypersonic targets, proving the basic technology. Under the current Phase 2 SBIR, we are fully designing HiSIDS and have key components on order, including the dual-band focal plane array and all optics. The Midas spectral image processor and dual-band FPA interface daughter card are in-house and have been tested using a similar focal plane array. We have also implemented the baseline hypersonic missile detection and tracking algorithms on Midas Ultra. We are currently targeting upcoming test events, including RIMPAC, for initial testing of the system, which will ultimately lead to testing against hypersonic threats. HiSIDS represents a breakthrough in reliable extreme-range detection of hypersonic missiles. By measuring spectral signatures of aeroheated missile surface materials and booster plumes, and then performing material and temperature-based discrimination, HiSIDS detects hypersonic threats at extremely long range, enabling timely deployment of countermeasures. By comparison, current missile detection radar systems are rendered blind by the missile's plasma sheath. Also, broadband IREO sensors lack the ability to quickly identify what is a true hypersonic threat and not just a bright spot. If far enough away and seen against an Earth background, the threat might not even be visible to one of these sensors. Our 32-band shortwave infrared through long-wave infrared system offers extreme-range day-night operation and reliable high-speed threat detection and tracking, with identification of the threat as hypersonic as soon as it's detected. Broadband IREO systems, conversely, can only rely on calculated speed to determine whether an object is a hypersonic threat, since they have no ability to determine surface temperatures and materials. Our 32-band light shift technology is band-optimized to detect hypersonic missiles' solid constituents and temperature-broadened booster plume emission, enabling collection, processing, and detection at 120 full frames per second. By contrast, band-rich scanned hyperspectral imaging systems oversample the available spectral content, producing no more usable information at the cost of scan times more than 100 times greater than HiSIDS. We have already proven the basic technology for missile plume detection in fiscal year 14. We then developed the concept for the current HiSID system under N231-020 Phase 1. Under the current SBIR, we will complete a detailed system design by early fiscal year 26, and will have the system assembled in the third quarter of fiscal year 26. We will test that prototype system in the lab and likely demonstrate and test it at the upcoming RIMPAC 26 event, bringing it to TRL 6. Our final step prior to transition to the fleet is to adapt what we learned through testing and produce a production-ready prototype, which will then be tested in theater, bringing it to TRL 8 by the mid-fiscal year 28. To facilitate this transition, we require a government sponsor and prime contractor. Beyond protection of DoD assets, HiSIDS is ideal for protecting non-military assets from the threat of hypersonic missiles. This includes protection of key government and industrial installations and large population centers. Transportation hubs vital to flow of raw and finished goods are also potential targets in time of war. Detecting and tracking these threats is the first step in their defeat before they can severely harm the United States or its allies. Beyond the intended detection and tracking of hypersonic missiles, HICID's light shift technology for material-based discrimination is readily adaptable to other threat protection applications, such as remote detection of explosives and explosive precursors, detection of chemical and biological agents, drugs, and other threat materials. HICID's technology can do more than detect threats. Appropriate modification enables medical diagnostics, agricultural monitoring, including directed water and fertilizer application, online manufacturing control, and any other application that can benefit from remotely identifying an imaged material or state of that material. To facilitate transition, we seek a prime contractor to bring this system to the military market and potentially even the commercial market. To this end, we will license our SBIR-developed technology and provide support to transfer our intellectual property required to successfully produce HICIDs and similar systems. We will develop new capabilities through ongoing research and development and transfer those capabilities as appropriate. Please visit us at Sea, Air, and Space at National Harbor, April 20th to 22nd, 2026. We welcome the opportunity to discuss HICIDs and its capabilities, to discuss potential partnerships and transition avenues, and to demonstrate one of our light shift spectral imagers. For more information, please contact Mark Dombrowski, President and CTO, at markd@surfaceoptics.com. You can also leave a message at the number listed on this slide. Thank you for your time.